I understand that the job of every president, be it a club president or a country's president, whichever community or stuff you're presiding over, I understand that your job is to lead your people from where you met them to a better place, to a better level. I understand. And however you achieve this does not matter. Even if it means lying to the people or sounding very optimistic to the people, like however, whichever avenue or method you use in achieving this does not matter. As long as at the end of the day, you achieve it. And that is why sometimes when Joan Laporta comes out to tell us things, I understand that he has to be a president. He has to tell us things, especially things that he feels can happen. Probably, at that moment, it is not happening. But he believes as a president that, stuff like this can happen. And that is why most times we see Joan Laporta coming out to tell us that we are back to 1:1 financial rule, even when officially we are not. I understand that he has to always sound optimistic to we the fans, trying to keep our hearts neutral. I understand that fact. As a president, it is your work to sound optimistic, tell us what you think will happen, even if it is not happening at that moment. Even if you're sounding as though it is happening at that moment, and then you go back and do the underground job and make sure that your promises are fulfilled. I understand. Now, Joan Laporta has said he is confident that we'll register Joan Garcia and Rashford. And I believe so. I believe him, because if we cannot register these two players, then why did we sign them? So I believe so. Now, it is not the first time that Joan Laporta has come out to sound optimistic. He has said quite a number of things that has not happened up till now, especially the 1:1 financial rule. He has mentioned a couple of times that we are back, and still we are not back. At the end of last season, he mentioned that we earned about 950 to 1 billion euros. Even though he didn't mention the profits, he just told us the revenue we got. And still, we are struggling with finances. Last season, we sold our VIP seats, and somehow some money was paid in, and there were news that we are back to 1:1 financial rule. But right now, we are still not back. But Laporta sounded optimistic to us. He sounded very optimistic. And right now, he is telling us that he is confident that we will register Joan Garcia and Rashford. And I believe so. We have no option than to believe. Just last month, he mentioned that we will be back in the Camp Nou. We are going to host the Joa Japa Trophy, the first match of the season, at Camp Nou. And all of a sudden, the news turns out, and that did not happen. I understand that probably he saw it happening, and he had to, tell us the news, spread the news to us, sounded very optimistic. And one or two things probably, made that not to happen. And I completely understand. As a president, that is your work. But sometimes it is still okay to tell us how things stand. Be transparent. Sometimes you must not always sound optimistic, because when you sound optimistic, you just give us so much joy, and at the end of the day, those joy turns to sorrow. At this moment, I never thought we could still be battling with 1:1 financial rule, but here we are. We cannot still register our players. So I completely understand. I'm not faulting Joan Laporta, neither am I trying to say we don't have the right to feel the way we are feeling, but sometimes the optimism does not help, because at the end of the day, our joy turns to sorrow, because we all believe that since our president has said this, it means it's going to happen. Now, if at the end of the day, Joan Garcia and Rashford are not registered, we'll still feel bad, because you have come out to say that these players confidently are going to be registered. And when this does not happen, we the fans surely will feel bad. But I clearly understand your job as a president. You have to say or do what you have to do just to be a president and make us feel okay while you do the underground job. I clearly understand that. And I just hope this is not one of those optimistic statements from Joan Laporta. I believe these two players can be registered before the beginning of the season. Thank you.